This is about the functions of the leaf. Now, if we come to the next important part of the plant, that is root. For studying the importance of root and functions of root, we will do some activities to understand the concept of root. For this, first we will take two pots, we will take some soil, we will take a blade or a pair of scissors and water. For this, first we will select two plants of the same kind from an open ground and we will dig them out with roots. We should take care while digging them out that their roots do not break. We will plant one of them in pot A, as you are able to see in figure 7.14, that is a plant with roots. And in the B1, we will plant the second plant by cutting the roots with the help of the blade or the pair of scissors, and we will plant it in the pot B. You are able to see in figure 7.14b, that is the plant is put in the pot without roots. Now we will water them regularly. We will observe both the plants after a week. We are able to see that only the plant which is present in the A pot is healthy, whereas the plant which is in pot B and without roots is not healthy. So that from this activity we can finally decide that roots helps the plant in their growth and development and keep them healthy. Therefore, the plant present in pot A is healthy and the plant which is present in pot B is not healthy because roots are absent. So roots play an important role in the conduction of water and minerals from the soil to all the important parts of the plant. Now, to study another function of the root, we will do one more activity, that is activity 7, and in this activity we require seeds of gram and maize, some cotton wool, a bowl and some water. First we will take two bowls and we will place some wet cotton in them. Now we will put 3 to 4 seeds of gram in one bowl and maize in the other. Now we will keep the cotton wet by sprinkling water every day. And we will do this until the sprouts have grown into the young plants. After a week, we will try to separate the young plants from the cotton. You can see in figure 7.15 that young plants, they have grown on the cotton. So it is not very easy to pull out the plants, that is on the cotton. And if the plants are they have grown in the soil, then it is again very difficult. We are not able to pull out easily from the soil. We have to dug them out along with the soil, because roots help in holding the plant firmly to the soil. That means they anchor the plant to the soil. They means root. So root anchor the plant to the soil. So here we can see that the important function of the root, that means they hold the plant firmly to the soil. To study about the various kinds of roots, that is, here in activity 7 we have taken the seeds of gram and maize. So you can see the roots of the gram plants you have pulled out from the cotton in the previous activity, that is in activity 7. We are able to see the B kind of roots, that is roots of gram plants. In the B you can see the roots have the same structure as you have the structure shown in 7.16b. So this is of the gram plant roots. And in the A1, that is 7.16a, they are the roots of the maize seeds. So maize plant. So gram, you can see the B1, and the maize is the A1. So in this way, the roots of gram and maize, they are not similar. They are different from each other. So we have studied about two different types of roots. So different plants have different types of roots. Now if we want to study about the different types of roots, again we will do one more activity. For this, we will go to the open ground where many wild plants they are growing. We will dig out a few of them. We will wash the soil of the roots and we will observe them carefully. We will observe that the roots are either the kind of roots shown in figure 7.17a or 7.17b. So here on page number 59, we are able to see the root, that is the taproot. For roots of different kinds, in the A1 7.17, it is showing the diagram of a taproot. The main root here is called the taproot, and the smaller roots which are growing along with the main root, or you can say the taproot, they are called the lateral roots. So this is the taproot, and the side, or you can say the smaller roots, are called the lateral roots. If we come to the diagram B, that is the plants with roots which do not have a main root. So these kinds of roots are called the fibrous roots. So this is the diagram of the fibrous root. So in the fibrous root, all roots seem similar, and these are called fibrous roots. So here we have studied about the two different kind of roots, that is taproot and fibrous root. So now we will study about the link between the type of roots and type of leaf venation for a given plant. If we see that, for example, in the diagram of the 7.17a, that is taproot, we are able to see that in the first one, the taproot, the plants which are having the taproot, generally they have the leaf venation as reticulate. For example, we have already studied about the tomato plant or tulsi leaves or people tree leaf. So all these have the taproot and their leaves have reticulate venation. Now if we come to the second type, that is the fibrous root. For example, we can take the grass one. The roots of the grass, they are fibrous, and the type of leaf venation is parallel. So in table 7.2, types of root and types of leaf venation. If you take the example of a tomato plant, then type of leaf venation in the tomato plant is reticulate, and types of root is taproot. And if we take the example of the grass, then type of leaf venation is parallel, and type of roots which are present is fibrous. So without seeing the roots, only by seeing the leaf venation we can decide that the plant have a taproot or a fibrous root. So this is about the linking or linkage between the type of venation present in leaf and the type of roots. Now we have learnt in the topics that roots, they absorb water and minerals from the soil, and the important part, that is the stem, conducts these to leaves and other parts of the plant, so that the leaves prepare their food with the help of photosynthesis, and the food which is prepared by the leaves, that is transferred through the stem and is stored in different parts of the plant. And this food which is stored in the form of various parts, that is as roots, like in carrot, radish, sweet potato, turnip and tapioca, we eat them. Sometimes many other parts of the plant are there where food is stored. So we can say finally that the stem is like a street with two-way traffic, which helps the minerals that goes up the stem and allows the important materials which are required for the growth and development of the plant. So this is about the root for today. Thank you.